depending on the size of the project. Most of the time we come and visit the customer in person because we really want to get a sense of who they are, what they're trying to achieve, again to take that top-down approach.
So what is causing them pain? What is stopping them from achieving their goals that they're trying to achieve? And also, what does normal and what does good look like for them?
We also really want to understand their culture because we're going to be working with them, let's assume, for probably a minimum of a month or two. We want to make sure we truly are an extension of their team. We're just not paying lip service to that fact. We'll also allocate a project manager on our side into that customer, and we always ask the customer to allocate a project manager on their side as well. If there's quite a few people involved, that we have the right people talking to each other.
What is the end thing that we're going to achieve that we need to do, and then what is the path we need to get there? From there, I then start tracing back, okay, to get to the stage that's 3/4 of the way, what are my options? To get to these, what are my options? And then we start eliminating paths that we know are going to be unfeasible or are going to be really expensive for the customer in a way that's not going to deliver matching value.
Then we take all of that and translate that into a project schedule. And I'm a not-for-profit, I have tax appeal coming up in 3 months, I need to be ready to go for that. We will always work with you on those deadlines. Our consultancy is fully based in Australia. So we have consultants in Sydney and Melbourne currently. I'm sure that will continue to expand in the future. So when you deal with us, you can always meet people face to face. And we've done that quite deliberately from a cybersecurity perspective as well. So we do things like issue company laptops that are all able to be remote wiped, that have all the relevant tech on them to make sure that everything is secure as possible, because we do work in an industry that has lots of data, and sometimes we do complete lifts and shifts of systems. We also do try and take a very strategic focus to this, so it's not just what would you like us to set up, but we want to partner with you to say what are you trying to achieve, therefore what does that look like in the tech we're setting up for you.
I'd like to build a mental model of how a customer wants things to happen, because whenever I'm working on something with a customer in the future, I want to go, if I was in their situation, what would I do now? And I find that really helps me propose solutions that are going to be more acceptable to them.
I also like to think of us as a positively opinionated partner. We are an organisation that is going to work with you to say, hang on a moment, we think this could be done better. Or have you thought about doing it this way? We're not probably the best organisation to work with if you just want to tell someone what to do and we'll go off and do it, because we'd rather have that collaborative approach, and that's what we're really good at, is getting those joint outcomes. So we run an adaptive style of project management here. Our approach to project management is again a little bit different in that most of the time we have people actually using the tools on a daily basis running the projects. So you don't get stuck with that middle layer of someone that doesn't quite understand what the tech does trying to translate that to the customer. So you're talking to the direct doers. We think that gives you the expertise that you need to move the project forward, and you always get direct answers to the questions. Depending on sort of the skills required for your project, most of our team act as project managers, so we really try and marry up kind of the right resources and also, frankly speaking, the right industry, the right interests with the customers, so we know there's going to be a really good fit there. And we really try and make sure that we give complete transparency and visibility across the project. See that we use Asana. We're both an Asana implementation partner, and we also use Asana to run our projects. We give our customers complete, basically, access to all of that information, so they can see who on the team is working on what at what point in time and where it's at. So the expectation on our team is always that if there's a hold up, the project managers will surface it as quickly as possible, so there hopefully aren't too many surprises for the customer. We do run quite complex projects here, that's not always possible. If that becomes the case and we have an unhappy customer for any reason, we'll always try and sit down and have a chat, looking at the reasons why. What's occurred, is it something that can be changed, or is it just something we have to work with? And then if it escalates past that point, it's probably a good sit down and going, okay, well this is where we're at, how are we going to move things forward? And sometimes, depending on the project, that may involve Salesforce as well, depending on what's going on and if it's a product-based issue or something. I think the key is really communication.
A lot of the work that we do is foundational. It helps people build a solid base. It helps people maybe automate things that they couldn't do before. If we do that, it starts freeing up time. You start having more ideas, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I freed up all this time, but now I found all these additional things that I could do that I didn't have time to do before. What does that look like? And we have found that for some customers, like, okay, please come back and do this other project now, because there's something else that we've been wanting to do for years and we just haven't had the opportunity or a chance to do.